everybody. Welcome to Wednesdays with Wendy. Today we're going to be talking about how we record earthquakes. So the first instrument that was made to record earthquakes was made in China in 132 AD, so a really long time ago. And it was a big urn that had dragon heads coming out of it. And each one of those dragon heads was holding a marble in its mouth. And when the jolt of an earthquake happened, it would push the marble out of the dragon's mouth into a waiting frog's mouth. And so that's the way they knew that an earthquake had happened, and they knew the direction that it came from because of the marble that got knocked out. Now we have more sophisticated instruments, and we've built some of those today. Not the sophisticated ones, but things that we can make at home. They're called seismographs, and they measure the way the ground moves during an earthquake. So Rowie here has built a seismograph. Do you want to talk about it?
Yes.
What is this?
This is the frame.
Yep.
This is the frame.
What is this?
This is the
Right, pendulum. Mm-hmm. And what's hanging off of that?
This is the pen.
Right, very good. So he built one. All right, come on back here, buddy. And I built one too. See, they're very similar. Come back here, Rowan. Stop. This is a frame, and the frame is attached to the ground. So we're going to pretend that the surface of this table is the surface of the earth. See that I have a pin in here, and I have something that's weighted. See how it's not attached to the ground, it's attached to the frame? That means that whenever the ground moves, this is going to be swinging freely. This isn't going to move. And so the ground is going to move underneath the pin, but the pin itself is going to stay stable. So I have to get the pen back down in a little hole here. And I just used a cup and I put some pennies, and now there's a pen in the bottom right here. So what we're going to do, I have to take the top off of this pen. Okay, Rowan. If this works, take the top off of this pen. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Alright, so Mom, will you pull this? The pen is going to write on here. Come back here, Rowan. Come back here, please. It's okay. Start to pull that, and it should make a straight line. Is it making a straight line? Now we're going to have an earthquake. Just a little bit of shaking. Keep pulling. Now we're going to have heavier shaking. And that should have bigger lines. Keep pulling. And now the earthquake has stopped. All right, so let's see what we recorded. Thank you, Mom. Look right here. If you hold that up. Yeah, see this straight line? That's what it looks like when the ground isn't moving. Can you tell where we started shaking the ground? Right here. See how it moves back and forth? Can you tell, Rowie, where we started shaking a lot? Right, very good. Right here. That's okay. So what we're showing here is the motion of the ground, but we're really only showing it in this direction, which is a problem, right? Because as we've learned on past Wednesdays, please stop. There's lots of directions that the ground moves, right? It can move this way, it can move this way, it can move up and down, and it can move in circles, like Jane Fonda can do this. And like this. Everybody want to do the earthquake dance? They love waves, they're Rayleigh waves. So it can move in all different directions. So that's a limitation of our seismometer. It's only measuring this way. We can say this is north and south. Other seismometers will also measure east and west, as well as up and down. So that would be like a vertical seismometer. Here's one I just put together. That would be a weight on a spring. And in this case, you would have the frame, which would be me, right here, holding the spring, and I'm attached to the ground. So when the ground moves up and down, this is going to go up and down, right? And it would record on something that's right over here. And so that's a way that you would measure the vertical ground motion. You can set it right here. So modern seismometers measure this way, north-south. They measure this way, east-west, and they measure this way, up and down. It's a 3-component seismometer. So if you go to Jamasize, which is a free software available through iris.edu, IRIS.edu, you can download that software. It lets you record earthquakes from anywhere in the world. You can look at any of the seismometers that we have in our database, and you can see earthquakes as they come in real time. You can look at 3 different seismometers, or you can look at the three components of one seismometer: the north-south, east-west, and vertical or up and down motion. So you can make these kind of seismometers at home to learn more about how they work, and there's lots of other ones that you can build at home that can record earthquakes that are close to you, or even teleseismic earthquakes, ones that happen really far away. Some names of those: there's an AS1 seismometer, or you can buy something called a Raspberry Shake, which is really, really cool. So that's what we have for you today. This is going to be the last Wednesdays with Wendy for a little while. I'll put a poll up in a day or two to see what we want to do with this from now on. I'll put some information in the comments, and if you have any questions, remember to comment on that. Don't forget to wear your masks to be safe. Stay home when you can. You want to put your mask back on, Rowie? Oh, show them your...
This is an example you can build at home.
That's a Minecraft seismometer. Cool, huh? All right. Thank you. See you soon. Say bye, Rose.